I'm James, this is Sarah, and our 1-year-old daughter, Adi. And this is our self-converted Mercedes Sprinter camper van, Cassie. Now, if she looks familiar to you, then you may have watched our original tour we did a couple of years back when we'd just finished the conversion. If that doesn't ring a bell, then we suggest watching that video as well, and we've linked it above and in the description. Since then, we have lived in her full time for 2 years and obviously added another member to our family. So we've made quite a few upgrades and adaptations in that time, which is why we've put together this new and updated tour.
So come on in, we'll start with the kitchen. This is still one of our favourite parts of the van. We're so happy with how it turned out, and we think we've actually improved it and made it better over the couple of years that we've been living in it.
I really love to cook. I mentioned that in our original tour video as well. So it was really important that we had a very functional kitchen, and it has been extremely functional. And I think one of the main reasons why is that we've got this really long worktop here. However, one of the upgrades that we have made is to put in this shelf which is behind me, and the reason that we did that is because we found that with any clear space, I think this goes for wherever you live really, in a house, in a van, you always end up with things on it. So it's things like sunglasses, pens, bits of paper, whatever was lying about, it used to always just go on there. So we built the shelf to put all of that stuff that when you come into the van and you just throw it down the side, it all goes up there instead, and it keeps it nice and tidy and means that we've still got this huge workspace for cooking. The oven and hob means it's not too dissimilar to cooking in a kitchen in a house, and allows us to make pretty much any meal we want. The huge sink means that we can easily deal with the washing up that all the cooking generates. And in addition to that, the multifunctional tap meant that we were actually able to use it to bathe Adi when she was tiny.
One of the other small things that we did in the kitchen area that made a massive difference is we glued these coffee tins onto the wall. So we just quite literally glued a magnet onto the back and onto the wall, and it means that they then stay securely in place for when we are travelling, so we don't have to move them around or anything like that. So we've mentioned the shelf already. These tins just have things like our charger cables and miscellaneous bits and bobs in. But this is also really handy here. Just a hook to put your keys on. Like, it's the simplest thing, but it makes such a difference when they actually have a place to live. Another really small adaptation that we made to the van that made a big difference is to put a shoe rack down here. So it used to be that our shoes were just kind of like lying around and they used to annoy us. So yeah, we just put that on the side of here, and it's made a massive difference to how tidy the van feels. The other thing that we did in this area is make a little bit of an entertainment area for Adi. So obviously she's got our magnets on the fridge there, but we also made a blackboard on the inside of the door so she can sit on the step and draw with her chalks.
The wet room bathroom has pretty much remained the same, and all of the plumbing and finishes have stood the test of time so far. The main upgrade we've made in here is to add these suction cup storage solutions, which include a toothbrush holder, a nappy caddy, a soap dish and a flannel hook, which make the space tidier and a lot more practical.
So this is how we eat. Luckily we made this seat big enough so that Adi and I can both sit in it, and we made the addition of just getting this little seat for her, which fits there perfectly. One of the really nice things about it is that it's the same height as our table, so she has her own little tray, but it's like we're all eating at the same table, which is really nice. I like that. Something that we've been really conscious about since Adi came along is making the space usable for her too, so that she can actually do things for herself. So we put things in place like her coat hook so that she can actually put her own coat away, and her little step up, which is not quite big enough yet to use, but this is for when she will be able to be helping in the kitchen. And in her cupboard she has a mirror as well, so that she can reach to look in the mirror herself. All of the things that we set up in the van were originally just for Jay and I, so they're all very adult based, so we've kind of tried to like get down to her level a little bit and figure out what she needs down at that level as well. This cupboard behind me then is where all of Adi's stuff is. So we made this her cupboard so that it's at her height, she can open it, she can get into it, she can get her toys out, her clothes out, anything that she needs basically is in there. So I'm going to get everything out and show you what she has. This is all her stuff then, or most of it anyway. So she's got all her toys there, and then she's got a few self-care things, so a hairbrush, toothbrush, toothpaste, and then these are her clothes. So trousers, tops, vests, hats and bibs, and her tights and socks all fits in there. All this wardrobe space up here is still ours, but she does have a few bits and bobs in there. So for example, she's got a few cardigans and coats and stuff, jackets that live in the wardrobes. But yeah, that is all her clothes there. For those of you that have not seen it before, this is how our sofa looks when it's out. So that middle section just there is a big drawer that folds back under the bed there. And inside it is another storage area, so we typically keep things in here like our bedding and towels and things like that. But Adi also has a portion of it where she has all of her books. Under this seat here is where we keep our dirty washing, amongst other things. So we have 2 laundry bags, one for lights, one for darks. It's something that we have to really try and keep on top of as a family of 3, but we still only have to do washing about every couple of weeks, so that's fine. And then under this seat on this side, we have got our diesel heater and our control panel. A few little bits of storage in there as well. Adi wants to show you one of her favourite bits of the van. Go on, you can do it. Ta-da! That's the main place that Jay and I keep our clothes then. We really had to kind of pare things down when Adi came along, but we still feel like we've got tons of space, to be honest. We've definitely got clothes in there that we don't use. Thankfully, when we bought our van, we got a 3-seater Sprinter. We had actually looked at a few 2-seater ones, so it's just by pure chance really that we got a 3-seater one because we didn't actually need it at the time. However, obviously it's worked out for the best because we have Adi's seat in the front here with us. She sits in the middle, so Jay does most of the driving in this seat and I'm over there in the other passenger seat. Obviously it means there's less space in the front with her seat in here, but it works absolutely fine and she really enjoys travelling actually. I think it's because she's probably always done it and we're both here at the side of her. She can see us, she's not strapped away in the back somewhere. Yeah, she just really enjoys being in the cab.
Other than the car seat, we've also added a couple of hooks to the back wall for hat storage and a new motion activated security camera. So we now have one in both the front and the back, giving us full coverage of the van. In the garage area, we've been very thankful for the space that having a fixed bed affords us, because in addition to the necessities that we already had in here, there's plenty of stuff that we need for Adi, which we can store here as well. And we've also added this cargo net to provide even more space for things like spare nappies and wet wipes.
One of the main upgrades that we've done on the van since we did our first van tour video is added a mains charger so that we can charge our batteries up off the grid. When we built our electrical system, we didn't actually think that we would be spending that long in cloudy countries, to be honest, where there wasn't much sun. So our solar panel with our backup of our battery to battery charger work absolutely fine 90% of the time, but unfortunately there's been quite a few periods where we've been in England, stood still, rainy days, and we've needed that little bit of extra power from the mains. Now we are back on the road, travelling around much of the time, and especially over in mainland Europe, we don't actually use it at all. Our solar panels are more than adequately able to provide all the power that we need, and like I say, we just use our battery to battery for a little bit of that extra boost when we need it. For those of you that don't know what a battery to battery charger is, it's the charger that is capable of taking excess power from our van battery from the starter motor and putting that back here into the leisure batteries in the back of the van that we use for our electrical system to power all our lighting, our fridge, everything that we built in the van. That's the mains battery charger there that we put in additionally. So that just plugs into this box here, and then as a cable running out of it that we typically run up and out of the window and plugs into the house or a campsite or wherever we need to plug it into. A lot of people have it running as a proper socket out through the side of the van, but because we don't use it that often, we decided to just do it this way, and then it all just folds away when we don't need to use it. It's also got 3 sockets on it and some little USB ports so that you can plug stuff directly into this to charge, which is quite handy. We sometimes use that to charge our Jackery pack as well.
We really hope you enjoyed our updated van tour. If you did, then please take a moment to like it by hitting that thumbs up button. And if you've not seen us before, then we'd love you to subscribe to our channel. We upload videos every Sunday of our travels as a family in the van, so do hit that bell button as well so you get notified every time we post a new video. And don't forget, if you've not watched our original van tour, then it's linked in the description below and goes into a lot more detail on the specs of our gear and our water, electric and gas setups too. If you have any questions about the van conversion or us, then we'd love to hear them, so pop them in a comment down below and we will catch you next week.